Hello, welcome to Live Well with Banter, a new podcast produced by Hayward and Stuff Productions for Live Well with Cancer. I'm Ben Elliott, or to regulars at the Live Well Hub, Maureen's son. Ordinarily, I would be your host, but today I am in the guest seat, and I will be giving hosting duties over to my sister, Ashley Elliott.
Yes, hello. Thank you for choosing me and not Holly.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you have been the interim mum at the charity, so it seemed only right that you would get this good job on top of the bad ones.
I've tried. Would there be such a thing as an interim mum? I don't know whether anyone could do that.
An interim mother? I don't know, I could imagine.
No one would do it as well as Maureen. She would.
No. Well, yes, exactly. I'm not replacing her, that's for sure.
I tried my best.
She's got little feet but big shoes to fill. That was what I kept saying when she had a show.
Oh, really? That's cute. I wish I'd come up with that.
But then people took it literally.
Did they?
And they were like, oh, why has she got little feet? Like, they couldn't quite process it. And I was like, no, I'm not talking about her actual feet.
Although she does.
Yeah, she does have little feet.
You did well. I kept telling everybody what a horrible patient she was.
Yeah.
Which apparently wasn't something I should have done.
No. Well, but it's also the truth.
Anyway.
She's not, because the initial plan was she was going to do this. So she was going to ask me at the end and I was going to finish the 6. But the 6 isn't going to be the end, thankfully enough. Live Well with Banter lives on.
Oh, so. Well, we'll have to circle back to that then. Yeah, because that would be good to see what comes next. But we're obviously here to talk about healthy habits, which is something you love to talk about.
All the time.
Yeah, but I would like to know the backstory and how it came about, how you chose the 9.
So it started off coming out of the pandemic.
Right.
I'd picked up some bad habits and put on a couple of pounds. One of them bad habits was smoking again. So I started a job list and it was just a daily task list. So, but what I found was that the same things kept coming out. So, exercising, whether that was just going for a walk or lifting weights or whatever that was going to be, eating well, 5 fruits and veg, drinking water, connecting with people, doing something I enjoy. So these kind of initial habits came and it started off as the wellbeing 5 a day, which was actually 6, but one of them was letting go. So it was about letting go of a bad
difficult thing to market.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, some of the routes I took, there was one where I got all 9 habits rhyming. And it was like masticate.
You've got to be very careful with what comes there.
It wasn't working, but that was, it's just kind of exploring the idea really. But these the same habits kept coming on, moving, eating well, connecting with people that you're doing things you enjoy, learning, all these different things. And it really consolidated in my mind when I settled on the 9 and that, but then it wasn't just 9, it was 3 3s. And it was the 3 pillars of wellness. So it's your journey in life, how you move from the past to the present and into the future. It's your health, your mental health, your physical health and your emotional health, and then your relationships, your relationship with other people, your relationship with yourself, and then your relationship with the food you put in your body. Once I had them 9 in them 3 pillars, I knew I'd got it and I knew I'd cracked it. And then I was kind of living at the same time. So I've got a shelf full of journals in the house and it kind of goes from that initial job list all the way through. And that was the moment. That was the moment when I knew I was right.
So were there any other habits? So obviously you'd gone from like 5 to 6 and then to 9. Was there any that you'd toyed with that then just didn't make the cut?
I think the one habit that probably I would have liked to have gotten in, I still think it is, because I would argue it's the best way of connecting with other people, but contributing to other people.
Right.
I thought that was something. But one thing I didn't want to be with it from the start was prescriptive. There's no shoulds involved in it. There is a should and the archetype in terms of the moving's good for your health, learning's good for your mind. Enjoying's good for your emotions because you all of these habits have a positive thing, but I didn't want to be like, you should also be doing this, you should be contributing to other people. So that was one that I think would have been, it's probably the next one tapping on the list, but like I say, it kind of, for me, it comes within setting intentions, and it also comes within connection, because I genuinely think that's the best way of connecting with people. When you can do something to help them, and you can offer value to their life, I think, and I think that works both ways, because I think when it's reciprocated, you feel positive as well. But beyond that, no, I think I genuinely think I've got everything.
Yeah, because I think the other difficulty with the contribution thing, particularly when you think about implementing the habits in the context of someone who might have had a diagnosis or support somebody with it's that then that next step of action. So how did you find the transition between creating a tool as a healthy individual which could then be used and utilized to empower people who are dealing with difficult situations.
Yeah, my mindset from the start, to be hand on heart, initially it was entirely for me. I wasn't doing it for other people. This was, how do I live well? But then when I'd settled on the 9, and then I was using the journal, and it was becoming something that I was just genuinely, I was just feeling the benefits of it. That's when my learning designer mind kicked in, and obviously that's what I do for a job. So it was always, so then the mind change of, all right, okay, well, I know it works for me, but how do I make this work for other people in a way that it can work? And that's kind of the essence of the journal, really. I think these 9 habits are beneficial. What does that mean to you is the question. And it's how do them people internalize it? So, how do you like to move? That's different for everyone. Everyone's got their own preferences. So it was a case of building it in a way where people could start where they were, not where they want to be. And I think that's such an important one, because people think, oh, well, I should be much further along. I say, well, now we're going to start where you are. And if we take one step at a time from where you are, we can get you to where we want to be. But if you start where you're not, then you just lying to yourself from the beginning, and it's based on a lie kind of thing. But if we can start small and we can grow big, if we can focus on progress and not perfection, and if we compete against ourselves and not other people, we can kind of gradually increase. And that's always been that's my biggest tip to anyone using the journal is that kind of starting small and getting the habit of using the journal or working towards these 9 habits. That's the most important part, because then you get the 9 off the back end of it. So as long as you're coming back every day. I remember watching a show one time, and it was about a guy who was like 400 pounds or something, and he ended up losing half of his body weight. And the first step was just go to the gym. He didn't have to do anything at the gym. He just had to go. So every day he went to the gym, but then after like a week of going to the gym every day, he was like, well, I'm at the gym now, so I'll do a minute of exercise. And then he built it. And that's how progress is made. So it's slowly and steadily and one day at a time. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. And I guess there's probably something in there about that, creating the awareness of accepting where you are in the moment, and like making sure that the pressures that you're putting on yourselves is appropriate for the time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I love the journal in particular, because you create another version of yourself who can be your best friend. Now, I imagine some people could use that journal and become the worst enemy, because they'll set goals that they can't do, and then it would just do. But for me personally, it's almost like another friend that I've got, because I set my intentions with the best of intentions at the start of the day or even the day before. This is what I would like to achieve. But then I'm kind to myself if I don't. I say, oh, well, I didn't do that today because I ran out of time and this was more important. But I did do this and I did do that. I got 7 out of 9. Good day. And then you move on to the next page. And there's something I really like about that. Right. I like the changing of the page. I don't look back at my journals. I very rarely look back at my journals. I've got a lot. And there would be some good things to be found in there. Maybe one day I will. But for the time being, it's very much a 3-day kind of window of, okay, today, tomorrow, yesterday.
And so obviously that's now grown into something that you've then shared and given and helped other people. Have you got any proud moments of people who've used it and used it in the best way that you can see?
A couple of proud ones stick out. Anne, Jan and Jervy from the 90-day trial. So this is one of our earliest ones where we got the funding for a 90-day version, which was getting tested out. I'm very proud of them for finishing the 90 days, because that was going from none to a 3-month period of doing something new every day. That was nice, because I was going along every step along the way with them. So that was, in terms of the scope of that, while that was happening, I was doing a 500-word blog a day, which was hellish. 3 months.
Was that why you learned that your journal could be your worst enemy? Set yourself up.
Yeah. That wasn't even the journal. It was my fault. Because I was just too much. It was just too many things to do. It was like, it's a nice idea on paper, and it was a nice idea on paper, but the reality of, because I was a writer anyway, so my daily job was writing. I was adding an extra 500-word blog a day, plus doing the journal, plus doing everything. So it was just too much. But that was very proud seeing them. But it's family, it's you guys, it's seeing you do it, or seeing Holly do it, or seeing Mam do it, or even Riley and Murphy and that. When I see people close by using it and benefiting, that's when it kind of means the most to us. A lot of the time I don't get to see, because people are taking the journal. It's a very personal thing, the journal and that. And I'll kind of hear back afterwards, like, oh, it was really good. I finished that. I say, oh, brilliant. I would have liked to have I would have liked to have known more. Yeah. But it's a personal thing, and we're all kind of going on the walk. So yeah, I think them 3 in particular for that 90-day trial, because I think that was a really big challenge, especially going from no days to 90 in one batch. I thought that was impressive. And then, yeah, seeing my family use it is good.
And what is it about sort of society now that you think like struggles to stick with healthy habits? Like, why do you think systems like this need to exist?
I think there's infinitely more ways of getting things wrong than there are of getting it right. I think the things that are often worse for us are often easiest. Things like sugar, things like alcohol, things like them bad habits that can have a bad effect on you. And in the short term, make you feel good, but in the long term, don't. It's not an easy path, the path of living well, but it's a path that I believe to be the most rewarding. I don't think people necessarily know. I think that this framework is, alone 9 can put people off because it seems like a lot. Like, how many things do you do in a day generally anyway? I guarantee it's more than 9.
But that in itself is a problem, isn't it? Because people are very busy. And so you think, oh, I've got 9 more things to do. And you're like, well, no, but for yourself to make you feel better.
Well, and it's not even 9 more.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be moving. You're going to, all of them habits you're going to be doing in one fashion or another. The difference is whether you do it consciously or not. And, you know, there's the old quote, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. I completely agree with that, because it's like, well, if you're just wandering aimlessly and you don't really have a plan and nothing's really going, and it's like, well, I want to live better. Well, what are you doing about living better? Well, I did this and this and this. It's like, well, all of that's cool and it's a worthy intent. I think having something there that's kind of just not holding your hand, but just kind of facilitating this positive behavior change, and giving you it's real-time feedback as well, because it's like, well, I want to do this. I'm going to go and I'm going to do a 5K run a day for a week. Day 4, I'm knackered. Maybe it's 5K a day isn't the way to go about this. So you can kind of calibrate it from there. I think long-term with the journal would be looking at an app which would make it a bit more practical, and I kind of resisted that for a long time. But I do think that will be a better way of doing it, because it gives that prompt. It gives that, okay, what's your intention for today? How much water have you drank so far today? Which the journal doesn't necessarily have. And I know it is. It's an investment to get to the point where you're using the journal regularly, even for people who journal normally, because they're journaling in their own way, and this is a whole new system to kind of get into. But the rewards of getting into the system, it's such a holistic approach to things, and it touches every part of your life. And it does, I know it feels like 9 more, but actually I think it reduces your life down. Because if it's not important enough to be in them 9, then okay, how important is it really? Because if it's not about connecting with people you love, if it's not about caring for yourself, if it's not about your food, if it's not about moving, learning, enjoying things, if it's not about your future, your past, or your present, like what is it? And if it's not making the cut on there, then okay, maybe you can give yourself a little bit of peace. And actually, a lot of the time, I think people will see, even when they've missed, they get to see how much they have done.
Yeah.
So even if you've hit 6 out of 9, well, that's 6 out of 9's pretty good. That's a 66% or whatever. So, you're passing most tests at that level. And then hopefully you can do more the next day. And then, if you don't, it's cool too. So it's just about trying to guide yourself along as best you can in a way that helps you as holistically as possible.
Yeah. For me, what's powerful about it is that it reminds you that you matter. Like you top and tail the day with like, what is it that I need and what do I need to give? So it's like in a world where you give a lot to other people, that's quite a powerful thing.
It's interesting as well, because I think the habit that most often is left last for people is self-care.
Yeah. It
is that element of it. So even though I would argue that all of the 9 somewhere along the way are about self-care, because, if you're moving, you're looking after you, but it's all self-care really. Them things that are specifically for you, I don't know why they get left to last. It's the same for me.
It feels indulgent, I think.
Yeah, but it shouldn't.
No.
It shouldn't. No. Depending on what it is, because, if your self-care is, I'm going to have 2 bottles of Prosecco, and some lovely
is that I'm going to quote you on that. Is that self-care next time I get told
the terms are up to you as well, haven't it?
It's in my journal.
Yeah. Well, that's where the enjoy box comes in for me.
Right.
It's your little catch-all of, okay, well, this isn't necessarily good for us, but I'm going to enjoy going out and having a couple of drinks with the lads. Like that is you enjoying yourself and you connecting. Like, it's a good thing. It's not a problem. Or, I like a little bet. Cool. Just make that you enjoy for the day, and then you've kind of given yourself permission to enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Without it becoming this guilty thing.
But in amongst the awareness of like knowing what you can and
don't gamble £1,000 a day until you know, there's a balance to be struck, obviously. But yes, yeah. Because you could manipulate it to be your own best friend and say, okay.
That voice on your shoulder.
Yeah. But even if that was the case, right? Even if you went in the journal with that mindset, I still think you would improve. Because even if it started off hedonistic and it was, okay, I'm just going to indulge myself in all these things, I'm pretty sure if you kept going to the journal, I think good habits cluster and bad habits cluster.
Yeah.
So the more you do, if I start exercising, well, now I want to eat well because what's the point if I don't? And I want to look after myself. And okay, actually, I'm feeling good now. I want to see my friends. And okay, I'm looking forward. I'm going to stop smoking because, you know, all of these things. Whereas the negative is also true of, well, I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to do that. And then before you know it, you've kind of stuck yourself and you're not doing any of the things that you should be doing and feeling bad about it, which is just feeding the cycle. So I think momentum works both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, because it definitely cultivates that sort of self-awareness where you become more thoughtful about what you do. So I guess that brings me to the next question. Sorry for looking at my phones for the questions. But yeah, in terms of like intentions and habits, what's one intention for the future?
I have a brilliant intention for the future.
No.
And this is years in the making. So my intention is to appear on Mastermind or Celebrity Mastermind while wearing my Green Game Show shirt.
Okay. Subjects?
Oh, well, okay. Subjects would be Alan Jackson songs.
Right.
The works of Trey Parker. There's a few different ones where I would kind of hone in on. The D'Artagnan romances by Alexandre Dumas. The life and naval career of Lord Cuthbert Collingwood.
That's it. That's got to be the intention.
Well, I just put that in the application so that they will let me through the audition. But it works and I get through the audition, but I've had 7 auditions now and I haven't got it. So just to give a little bit of context about the intention, it's not just Mastermind. So like I say, it's been a long time in the running. I appeared on Pointless, where I won, in my green shirt. I appeared on Countdown and I appeared on The Chase as well. So I've been on channels 1, 3 and 4, all wearing this green shirt. Mastermind would finish this set. So I've got a very clear image in my mind of these 4 images, all in my Green Game Show shirt. And as far as I'm concerned, if I do that, I've won game shows.
How much of this intention is linked to your Instagram photo of just having that 4?
That in particular image, yeah, that's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just Instagram, but yeah,
it'll be everywhere.
That particular image is in my head because I've already got 3/4 of it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was doing it until The Chase, because I bought the green shirt for Pointless and put it on, and it's not a very nice shirt to be honest with you. But then I thought it'd be funny if I brought it to Countdown, and then they were like, "Oh, which one do you want to wear?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I'll wear this one." No, it's totally cool. And then I went to The Chase and did the same thing. So now it's just become a thing of its own. And I would like to go on. So I don't think 7 auditions in, I don't think my general knowledge, truth be told, is good enough to get a Mastermind. So I've had to pivot a little bit. And now I'd ideally like to get on Celebrity Mastermind. So I just need to become well known enough in a world full of mildly famous people that I can get invited on Celebrity Mastermind just to be on there. And then I don't care how well I do. I really don't mind. I just want to be on there in that green shirt. And like I say, I think that means I've won game shows. I know no one else has tried.
No?
I know no one else has tried to do it. But I don't think that diminishes it at all.
No, not at all. I think that's a cool intention to have.
Yeah.
And so what's your favourite thing that keeps you in the present moment?
I've got a few answers to this one. I think walking in nature is probably top dog, I would have to say.
With a dog.
Especially with a dog. So I think I was quite lucky in my teens because of Paddy. Because I spent a lot of I would walk him every day. And I think I learned a lot.
Especially being at the coast as well.
Yeah, it was lovely. Briar Dean would go, or you had the backtrack up to Hollywell Dean and then you've got the coast. It's just it became a habit, and I think I learned mindfulness without understanding it. And then as an adult, I've kind of had to relearn it going back in because I would just be walking. And one thing I've stopped doing is listening to stuff when I'm on a walk. So if I'm walking Bobby or whatever, I'll go headphones out and it's just me and the dog. It's just out in nature and I just think it's lovely. It's just a great way to be.
What is one bad habit you'd rather not have?
I've had a few, like I say, initially with the journal, it was stopping to smoke, which worked very well. I'm no longer a smoker, so that's very good. My favourite one from from my time with the journal, and I use this at the fatigue masterclasses we do, is throughout my adult life, I had a limiting belief that I couldn't wear a cap because I thought my head was too big and looked stupid. But as everyone can see, no issues here. I found the cap for me, and now I've let go of that one.
A Toon cap as well.
Toon
Top
cap,
tier cap.
Carabao cup, no less. So yeah, exactly. I found my moment. The one I'm currently doing in my journal is screen time. Right. So I'm limiting myself too, and I don't know what other people's scores are, but I looked at mine at one point, and it's shockingly bad in terms of the amount of hours I was on my phone. A lot of the time, it's just stuff playing next to us. But I've cut myself now to 8 hours a day on the basis that 8 hours for sleep, 8 hours for work, 8 hours of screen time, and then we're probably there or thereabouts.
Screen time's such a tricky one, though, isn't it? Because it's just feeds into everything.
Well, that's why I cut it at 8, and now there's times when it's not happening. There's times when I'm well under, and it just depends on the nature of the day, really.
Yeah.
But that just feels like a reasonable cap. Like if 8 hours of my day is spent sleeping, I shouldn't be doing 8 hours. I shouldn't be doing more than 8 hours on my phone.
No.
So that's my current one.
No.
And let go is an interesting one because it's almost making space for the other good habits to kind of grow. So I've always viewed it that way, and I've had a few different things like coffee and different things along the way. But currently screen time, that's what I'm trying to manage. It came up a couple of times on the podcast as well, and it's just so easy.
What are you currently learning about?
Well, my company is called Transformational Learning. As you can see, I'm shilling for myself today. So I'm learning every day in regards to that one. So a lot of the learning's about actually teaching, really, and that's kind of been a big part of the last couple of years. I'm trying to become a better teacher of things, because one thing to know them, but it's another thing to teach them to other people. So with transformational learning, we work on all sorts of health and wellness education, but we do a lot of e-learner resources. At the minute, I'm doing one called Menopause, Cancer and Me, which is based around, the effects of menopause on people who've had cancer or going through cancer and different things like that. But we've done a lot. We've done sleep. We've done the Sleep Better series with them. We've done the prehabilitation website, the Prehab Hub. And then we're working on one called for fatigue management around things, around cancer as well, specifically. So we've got a lot of different there's a lot of different avenues in terms of whether that's a workshop, whether that's a leaflet, whether that's an educational resource, whether it's an immersive online sort of thing. And there's learning around all of that, whether that's building it online or even just the scripting, because I've worked in scripting and education for a long time, but the bulk of that time was working in the maritime industry.
Yeah.
And I can say it now quite freely because I don't work for them anymore. Couldn't care less about ships.
But you could about Cuthbert Collingwood.
Oh, yes. Well, absolutely.
So
and the Royal yes, not all ships, because if you're going to talk about the Royal Submarine,
exactly, that's the thing. It's when they ruin shit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to know the procedures and stuff like that. It didn't interest me, but I was interested in learning, and I was interested in health and wellness. So once I got made redundant, it was a blessing in disguise, and we started pursuing that.
It's funny how life works out, though, isn't it? How you can kind of pick bits from different parts of your life and then suddenly merge together to make the next bit more exciting. What's your favourite way to move?
Favourite way to move is football, and
right.
I think it always has been. I love playing football. As part of the charity, we do a kick around with the lads every Wednesday at Westmoor Community Centre, which is especially great because they get free Gregs.
I can't believe you get free Gregs.
It's unbelievable. It was already a highlight of my week, but now I get free Gregsies afterwards.
Yeah.
And obviously we love Gregs at Live Royal Cancer because they've funded us for the last, Gregs Foundation, but most of the same thing in my eyes anyway. So yeah, now I get free Gregs after footy, but I love passing the ball around. I find that very mindful, actually. That is another one where it's like, that's a good way of passing time because you just focus on the ball and whether you're just passing it back. You're chatting to your mates, you're trying to score some goals. Riley comes as well, so it's a good chance to be with my nephew. Murphy's coming this Wednesday. It's nice. Played football as a kid and all the way through, and then kind of had a bit of time away from it. So it's been nice to come back in, and I'm fitter now as well, so I'm better. It's great. I'm actually better than I was. I used to play all the time, but I was a defender and I was pretty limited and stuff. But over the years, heads and volleys and keep you uppies and all them sort of stuff, I've become.
And it's just fun as well, isn't it? There's no rules, there's no pressure. It's just
how good a goal can you score?
Yeah.
And even if you don't, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, make your friends laugh.
Exactly.
Everyone wins.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. If you could do one thing you enjoy now, what would it be?
Okay. There's a few. I mean, in terms of enjoy, the Toon always kind of comes into it, but I'm going to save that because we've got a Toon question. I don't want to double dip. So I'm going to say going to the movies. I love. I'm a My Limitless member at Odeon.
And ambassador, by the way, you sell it.
Yes,
on a weekly basis.
Yes, I'll sell it. If I like something, I'm fully in.
Yeah.
I love going to movies. I love that experience. I don't even mind if it's a terrible movie because it's part of it. It's all part of the experience.
Best and worst you've seen this year?
This year. Oh, can I just have it within Limitless?
Well, it has to be at the cinemas that you've seen this year.
Within. All right.
So not like that not the Goonies.
Yeah. I'm going to just extend it out because I'm going to say Madam Web is the worst.
Right.
Because it was absolutely dreadful and it got the lowest score.
Right.
Dakota Johnson isn't believable as a person, let alone a multiversal fortune teller.
Right.
So yeah, she was terrible. It was really poorly produced. It was a dreadful movie. I quite enjoyed it for what it was because it was that bad. The best new one I've seen since I joined Limitless would have been, it was June Part 2 was the best new release. The best one this year, One Battle After Another. But the bar's not very high. And most of the movies are either sequels, prequels, requels, reboots. It's all just, there's a creative dearth out there, unfortunately.
What's your favourite way of connecting with others?
Holidays with JV are my favourite.
Yeah.
I'm blessed in that she's got a brilliant eye for things in terms of beautiful places to go and see. She's very much there for the experiences and different stuff like that. So for the last, coming up to 8 years, more about 8 years and a week, we've done a lot of lovely holidays. But it's beyond just the JV. Whenever I'm on holiday, I love being on holiday. It's just such the shoulders come down, I'm off. Okay,
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and I'm Alan Jackson my way through life.
What self-care do you need?
My self-care from the start mainly has been stretching. So I've got a few full body 9 stretching routines, which is about just kind of looking after my body. And that came off the back. I slipped a disc in my back, which you'll remember. It wasn't very nice.
Slip disco.
Horrendous. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That makes it seem much more fun than it was. The old slip disco. Everyone on the floor. But what that did spawn was this daily habit of getting on my mat and stretching. And that's been, it's as much the quiet and the just being with myself and focusing on the breathing as it is anything else. But yeah, stretching is my self-care, looking after my body. Because it looks after your mind, it looks after my heart, and it does everything else at the same time.
Yeah. 5 a day, fruits and veg, what's your pick?
Yeah. So when I pitch this one, I say in a dystopian future, all fruits and veg are destroyed apart from 5, you get to save them.
Oh.
So I say, yeah.
Oh, you make it more dramatic.
I make it very dramatic.
Right.
Yeah. That's okay.
We can have dystopian.
No, mine's nice. That means I'm not losing all the rest of them. I'm just picking mine.
Yeah. Why would you want to lose them?
Just raises the stakes.
Gun in your head.
Oranges. If I have to be specific, I'll say Satsuma, but ideally I can just have all oranges. Mangoes. I think they're delicious. Strawberries. To be honest, I would have 5 fruits, but I just feel like I need to mix it up.
No, hey, don't you conform?
No, look, if I'm only allowed 5 in this dystopian future, I need to have some sort of veggies.
I don't know why you feel the need to restrict.
Sweet potato and red onion.
Right.
Now, I was going to say something else, but I don't want to steal Hayward's answer because it is the right answer, and I respect him for it. But we'll wait until this episode for that one.
I need to know what Hayward's answer is. So you'll have to tell us later. And I'm intrigued by the red onion.
It was, to be honest, it was just to add a little bit of something in there. Like if I wanted to do it was going to be the one that Hayward said.
Oh, hey.
But I just don't think I can do it. I don't think it's right for me to steal what is a brilliant answer for the right reasons and make it my own. Not when he hasn't had the opportunity to do himself. So instead, I'm stuck with red onions for the rest of my life.
Hayward.
There's going to be a lot of sweet potato red onion hash.
Oh, I'm intrigued now. Right, so we've asked some questions about the healthy habits. We've explored some questions there. Now it's on to your favourite topic, Newcastle United.
One of my favourite topics. I mean, liberal healthy habits has to be up there for my favourite things to talk about.
Yeah, your favourite other habit.
Exactly, yeah. My favourite one outside of my control.
Yeah. So Newcastle United, Premier League, 11 players.
Yeah, Premier League 11. So in goal, Shea Given.
Obviously.
Tremendous goalkeeper. Fantastic. And I love the fact he's still a Geordie at heart, so he's just in for me. Popey, if he was better with his feet, might have taken him. Shea Givens keeps it. Right back, Kieran Trippier. I just think since he's came to the club, I think he's been an outstanding player. I think he's made a big difference on the squad. I think in, maybe even a year or two, Tino Livramento might take his spot, but for the time being, Trips gets it. In centre-back, Fabian Shaw and Philippe Albert.
Nice. You say his name properly.
Philippe Albert!
What done?
Them two in the back, ball-playing centre-backs, good defenders. Shaw is possibly the best buy we've ever had, pound for pound.
How much was he when?
He was like 3 million.
Yeah, wow.
And he's just class.
Yeah.
He's just great. He's been brilliant for a long time. He deserves it. And then, Philippe Albert, it's the 5-0, putting the cherry on the cake, that face.
Yeah.
Has to be there. Left back, I'm putting Dan Burn. Not because he's best at left back, but because I think he should be in the team.
Yeah.
So as with Kieran Trippier and Tino Livramento, I think it won't be long until Lewis Hall overtakes him as my left back. But for the time being, and then to be fair, Dan Burn might go inside and take Philippe Albert's place.
But you want him in the squad
at the minute. That's a nice solid back four.
Yeah.
Then in midfield, I've got two in the middle. I've got 4-4-2 classic. I'm going to put Sandro and Bruno in midfield. Two best centre midfielders we've ever had, in my opinion.
You love Sandro, don't you?
I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think he's absolutely brilliant. I think he's our best player. I think if it wasn't for Alan Shearer, he'd be our best player ever. And even with Alan Shearer, he possibly is. I just think he's quality. I think he's quality all around, physically, tactically, technically, attractively. He's got the whole shebang. Them two in the middle could come up against anyone. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
That gives me a little bit more freedom on the wings. So on the right, Nobby Solano.
Fair enough.
Quality. Whipping balls in. He'd do a job defensively if we need him to. Peruvian. He's got his trombone or whatever he plays. Good.
Lovely guy.
Lovely man. Good energy. Deserves to be on the right wing. Left wing, David Ginola.
That's his name said properly as well.
Exactly. It has to be David. Grew up with him. And, even he wasn't there for long, but he was brilliant and he's lived long in the memory because of that. So I think with them two in either wing, we're looking sweet. Centre forwards, if Isak wasn't such a prick, he might have been in here, but he's not anymore.
Yeah.
So Andy Cole is, because he was a goal scorer.
You loved Andy Cole.
I loved Andy Cole when I was a kid. I loved Andy Cole and I loved Dwight York.
Yeah.
If only I was a Man U fan in 99, I would have had a wicked time.
Well, to be fair though, you're right. We were quite lucky growing up with a Newcastle United team that we had, really.
Yeah, we were. We're blessed.
Yeah.
We're blessed. I think it's only now that now's the best time. I genuinely believe now's the best time to be a Toon fan ever. But when we were growing up, the Bobby Robson times and the Keegan times, they were phenomenal.
Yeah. You just properly did it all.
I loved him. And I proper loved Dwight York as well. I don't know what it was. I don't know why, but those two guys, when I was growing up, first crushes. Times have changed since then. Andy Cole up front scoring goals. And then we captain Alan Shearer. Has to be Alan Shearer. Them two up front together will score loads of goals. Yeah. Love Alan Shearer. Best player, best striker in the Premier League.
And so who would your manager be?
My manager would have been Bobby Robson until Eddie won the cup. But because Eddie's won the cup and because he's doing so well, and I just think I'm going to go Eddie. And part of the reason why I'm going to go Eddie?
Why?
And it's a little bit selfish. Bobby Robson's passed away.
Right.
So picking him doesn't do me any favours. Eddie, I might see this.
Yeah, but then he might just decide not to be.
And you'll realise that I genuinely pick you, Eddie. No, I think he deserves it. He's brilliant, and I'm probably paying more attention now as a fan. So I'm watching the press conferences and I see the way he speaks. He's phenomenal. He's a brilliant representative of the club. He's building something fantastic. He improves all the players. My heart's with Bobby because I'm a Geordie and he was a Geordie, and because
he was just he was lush.
Yeah. He was lush and he was brilliant as well. We played great, but we had season tickets when he was in charge and it was unreal. But I didn't win the cup.
Yeah.
You win a cup, you got the top of the list in my eyes.
Yeah, and he is a very honourable dude, isn't he?
Yeah.
And so what about your 3 subs?
3 subs, I'm going to put Tino Livramento in because he can play left back or right back, so I've got good depth in the squad. In midfield, I'm going to put Joe Linton in because versatile, you can do, you'll love a little bit of something. I thought you'd like that as well. And then my last choice, I'm actually going to let you pick, but I'm going to give you 2 options.
All right, okay. Less fun.
It's either Les Ferdinand.
Or
Shola Amiobi.
No, it's Les Ferdinand. Yeah.
Nice. I should have led on Shola.
Yeah, no, it's Les Ferdinand. Yeah. He was the only one I was offended, wasn't
The only reason I was going to include Shola is because he was almost a designated sub for most of his career, so he was going to be a good fit.
Yeah.
But actually, it's only right that he misses out on Les Ferdinand.
Les Ferdinand was the best thing. I still think he's the most beautiful man ever to walk the earth.
He once said hello to me, and I was so chuffed and shy that I didn't say anything back. I just went, and then walked off. I was working at St. James's.
And do you know what? I bet you could have said anything to him and he would have been dead polite.
He seemed like a lovely bloke.
Yeah,
totally.
I've decided that he is. He's the loveliest.
I think so.
That is a good squad.
Unbelievable team, that.
Quick fire questions. So I am going to look at my phone to do this. Favourite movie?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Favourite artist?
Alan Jackson.
Favourite song?
Little Bitty.
Favourite book?
The Three Musketeers.
Favourite game show?
Mastermind.
Fun fact about yourself.
I appeared on Vera as an extra wearing my green game show shirt. So it's not just on game shows, it's also been in the background of Vera on an episode. I was a passerby and a reveller.
I was going to say, what was the other one? Was it something to do with being in a... Were you going to a nightclub?
It was a nightclub. There was a homeless guy who got killed outside of a nightclub. But the revelry part, you had to like dance, and I can't stand pretend. I wouldn't be a good actor because I can't stand pretending to be like happy and dancing in that when it's not real. There's 2 more quickfire questions that I didn't send you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we should do these together because I think that's only right.
Right.
First one is, are you an ant or a deck?
Oh, God. Pressure. Right. Are you an ant or a deck?
I'm a deck.
Right.
On balance, but it's really close.
Yeah. Oh, I feel too nervous. I don't know. I feel like I might be an ant just to sway the...
I feel like you were going to say just to balance things out.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah. Although, who was the one who got blind? It was Dank. Was it Blind Man Deck?
It must have been ant.
Yeah. So, yeah, ant.
Right, there we go.
Yeah.
Nice. And then the last one, are you a Toon or a Black and White Army?
Oh, interesting. What are you?
Black and White Army.
See, I like to mix it up.
Right.
I'll go whatever the person next to us doesn't.
You want to? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that came across on both of them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make my own decision.
Yeah. I'm happy to be either. I'm happy to swing both ways.
Yeah.
Do whatever the Toon needs.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. So when we're together, you're Toon and I'm Black and White Army.
Yeah. I'm more than happy with that.
Nice.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about Live Well with Cancer.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, the question is, what was your life like before Live Well with Cancer? But do you remember life before Live Well with Cancer? Because it seems to...
I do, yeah. It's been a long time, and it's been quite...
Yeah.
Well, like the pandemic just changed the world, didn't it? So the charity was November 2019, so it wasn't long around before the world changed anyway. But before then, I was working e-learning. I was a script writer. That was my day job. So I would be doing training videos, e-learning packages and different things like that, again, for the maritime industry. But then I did a lot of writing in my own time. So epic fantasy has always been very passionate, a very like kind of big passion of mine in terms of project work. That would be what I'd be doing for the most part. Yeah, it is hard to kind of split it in terms of what life was like. I guess, I ran Dr. Oliver Watson on Instagram. I had a little pet page on there. That was cool. I was learning. I was learning about what it meant to be an adult and what I wanted to do in a different, in a variety of different ways, really. So, yeah, and we had quite big family news, to be fair.
Yeah.
Immediately before all this, almost immediately. In terms of, mum and dad separating.
Yeah.
So that was quite a big...
It's a podcast in and of itself.
That's a whole different topic. We won't go into that one. So that had gone on. I moved out of our grandma's house where I was living with my brother.
The
bachelor bungalow, as mentioned on Pointless. Yeah. And just living life, generally speaking, learning, trying to become more of who I was. But nothing, no real overriding parts in that one in terms of before the charity.
Yeah. I guess it's also hard when, like, Mum's been a cancer nurse for so long because actually it's hard to distinguish. There's always been that need the desire to support people, hasn't there? Like,
yeah, well, and even you with Bright Red and stuff, there was we'd been adjacent to it for different things like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I did Kilimanjaro, I did Atlas Mountains.
Yeah.
For Bright Red, so the transition would I knew what it was about beforehand from personal experience, but not necessarily as directly as the man being the founder.
Yeah. And so within the charity, how would you describe your role?
A bit of everything, really. I've been around since the start. The words, words is probably my domain, and as you can imagine, that's pretty far-reaching in terms of what that actually entails. So to begin with, there would have been a lot of the initial funding applications and stuff like that. Game show applications taught me well. You need to understand what you're selling to the people. And one thing I always found one thing I've always found with the applications is that they're not hard to write because the answer's right. It's not like I'm creating something. The workshops, events and support groups help people to live with oral cancer, social connection, learn improving techniques. Having a forum for that. It was never hard because the answer was right. So I was just it was just a case of proving it. But then, newsletters. I think I've written all the newsletters. It would take me a long time to say all of the jobs I've done. I would say, I've been there from the start, and it's been a hell of a journey. It's been good for me personally as well in terms of learning, because I remember when I did my first steep masterclass, I'd never really spoken in public before. But there was a situation where basically I had to step up to kind of run a steep masterclass in front of 60 people, which was very nerve-wracking, but that went well. And then it's kind of, okay, well, I'll do the next one. And now I'm doing the fatigue one and talking about, and that's got even better because now I'm talking about what I actually care about. So it's one thing teaching people about sleep when I'm a second-hand knower of information. It's another thing telling people about the wellbeing 90-day and live well healthy habits, is because that's mine, and no one's better placed to answer the questions. I actually like that better.
Right.
I like the getting asked questions more than I do because I want to know what's going to come back. It's like I can tell you, I can talk till the cows come home about the wellbeing 90-day, but actually what your questions are, that's more important, because that maybe it'll reveal a gap in terms of my experience or in terms of the way I'm thinking about things. But yes, involved in pretty much everything, I would say.
Yeah.
From start to finish. It's been a good process, and obviously Mum's very driven. JV's been heavily involved as well, so obviously the people closest to me are very heavily involved in the charity, so it's been lovely seeing it grow from that initial logo. When we've changed logo, much better now. Yeah.
You must feel very proud when you get such nice feedback from the information that's put out, that looks so pretty because of JV and sounds so fantastic because of you.
Yeah, I'm more proud of JV than my part in that, generally speaking. But I don't know whether that's just the way I am. I don't necessarily take a lot of pride in stuff. Not when I don't. It depends.
Is that for the divorce podcast, Toon?
Yeah, exactly. That's what the after hours.
Rocking in the corner.
Yeah. It does feel good. It does feel good. I'm always thinking about the next thing. So look, it's the same with my journal. It's not. I don't look back and think, oh, look how far I've come. I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm here now. What's next? So yes, it's very nice, and it's brilliant having JV there in terms of having a graphic designer who can make your worlds come alive and create journals that are just beautiful to look at, and then they function the way I want them to function. So it's a marriage between the two. I'm proudest, I think, of the Live Well Hub, in terms of, that was a lot of work to get to that point where we're in a position where we could do it, and even things like getting the grants and the funding to make it a possibility. Because then you see the impact it has on people. One day really sticks in my mind. It was a crafting for Wellbeing Wednesday. We came in, we just asked 4 random people to speak to camera. And it was so emotive, and it was so real, and it was, it was like, your mum's the best. Your mum's changed my life. She's changed everything around. That was when it really hit home, because it's one thing knowing it, logically, which is how I generally perceive life, but it's another thing to kind of see it coming through, and, to the point where people need to hug you because your mum's had such an effect on them, and knowing that I've had a part in helping her to do that is nice.
Yeah. And so what would your proudest moment be?
Greg's Foundation.
Right.
Greg's Foundation 3 years.
Is that like a big win?
That was the biggest win. That was the difference between scrambling for rent and utilities and, okay, we've got 3 years to build here. Let's go. And I always like getting the bids in. It was always nice.
There's a lush feeling when someone gives you cash.
Oh, it's unreal. It's unreal. And that one in particular. So 3 years, 19,700, I think. Yeah, 19,700 per year. That was just such a big win. And there was probably steps before that, the first like national lottery one. As it got bigger, it felt better. But yes, that one very much. That one I think would have to be my highlight in terms of, it's just what it means, because it's not necessarily one big moment. There was that lovely feeling of, oh my God, we're getting the money, which is a great feeling. But then it's like, well, actually this workshop here is only possible because that's getting paid for in this one here. And it's mad that it was I think it was just a form, and then it was a meeting, and then away we go. So that would be I think that's my proud. I mean, my proudest is the wellbeing and the Royal Healthy Habits in terms of my own personal, because that transcends me personal and professional as a project, as a creation. So to know that I get so much out of it on my own is one thing, but then to know that other people do as well, and to know how much potential there is for the future, that's very much something that's very close to my heart.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, hopefully you'll have a lot more like powerful emails of support and more wins under your belt soon. What does being part of the Live Well with Cancer community mean to you?
It's a privilege. It's a privilege, and it has been from the start. It's kind of changed as it's gone on, being part of the community. So initially I would have been doing stuff a lot behind the scenes, and possibly people didn't even know it was me doing it, where it was things like, okay, my words are out there, but it's not assigned to me or anything. Then during the pandemic, we did a lot of online stuff. So that was a wellbeing book club. It was a creative writing session, and it was them ones. And we had some really lovely groups in there where it was, whether we're talking about a book or, okay, let's share some writing that we've done in the time off. And because of the time of it, people were at home and people were engaged in the Zooms. I mean, as soon as the pandemic restrictions left, it was a different prospect, because then people were like, well, hold on, I'm just at work all day on a Zoom call. Now you want me to go on another Zoom call? This isn't quite working for us. But for them kind of 20 months, that period there, that was lovely. But then it's just grown from there, and the Live Well helped really change it in terms of putting names to faces and understanding the actual difference it does make to people. Because we've known, broadly, I guess, in terms of like what Mum did for cancer care and all the different jobs in the past, and kind of, I don't know about you, but I never really engaged all that much beyond knowing who she was talking about. I didn't necessarily want to know the dark side of it, but now you get to see the dark and the light, and it's only when you see both sides of the coin that you see the whole picture. So I think it's just a privilege. It's a privilege to be part of it. It's a privilege to be Maureen's son in it, and I'm sure you get the same as a daughter, because the love that woman gets from so many people, it's just so nice, isn't it? It's just a lovely thing. And like there's times when I just need to mention I'm her son, and I'm just, oh right, you've went from God's up, I don't know who you are, to come on in. I've literally had a phone call like that. I was talking to a guy, I've been putting a phone call, and then I was like, it's like the charity with my mum, and that. And she's like, you're Maureen Elliott's son. We're gonna have to start this conversation again, because he just completely had the door shut to us until I said her name, and then that was the difference. So yeah, two sides as a community, and obviously the family side of it as well. It's lovely to see us also involved in it and to make a difference.
Yeah. And you've obviously built friendships where you now get little teddy bears made, and
exactly. I've got crafters. I've got crafters doing Toon tops and clay holders.
I'm excited to see the Toon top. I think it'll be cute.
Yeah, the class.
Yeah,
the class. Gillian did great.
So hopes for the future. Obviously, that's one of the questions, but I guess it'd be interesting to know what your hopes for the future for you and Healthy Habits, and for Live Well with Cancer as well.
All right, which would you like first?
Either or.
Right. Let's stick with the charity for the beginning. So for the charity, I think more of the same. Build the infrastructure, make sure that we're able to keep doing this. I know Mum was a bit reluctant to kind of expand. I don't think that it's as big a challenge as she necessarily views it as, personally, because I think there's an ability to be in multiple places. I'd love a Northumberland retreat. I'd love to get some sort of, a place up there where people affected by cancer can go and have a weekend away, because I think that's the sort of thing where it's like, okay, you can really transform someone's well-being in that opportunity of, okay, you've got 2 days here. a live well with healthy habits would be amazing, because you'd set your intentions, you'd move, you'd eat well, you'd kind of share these things together, really give someone the opportunity to kind of focus on their well-being, and then empower them to go away and actually do something practically with it. I think that would be my big dream for and I guess that transfers into the live well with healthy habits. Because that's like the in-person side of things. And I think it's one thing to kind of teach people in a moment and in a workshop, but to have that really concentrated time of, no, you're here today and you're going to sleep and then you got another day. I think that would be really powerful on multiple levels.
Yeah, put your phone away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Phones are off for this window. Right, we're doing movement now. Cater to everyone's needs and take it from there. And I think it'd be a wonderful thing to offer to people. On a personal level, I'd resisted the idea of an app for a very long time. And the reason I think, in hindsight, that I resisted it is because I needed to walk up the mountain by myself first to understand where it went and how to get back. And a journal was that tool for this, and it has been that tool all the way along in terms of this is how you change yourself on an individual level. I needed to understand that first before I could then understand how to help other people. I think too many in the story transformation. There's 3 parts: there's preparing for change, there's changing yourself, and there's changing the world around you. I think far too many people go from preparing for change and then trying to change the world. It's like, well, you haven't got anything to say because you haven't gone on the journey, you haven't learned anything yet. You're just regurgitating other people's things, now presenting it to me as if it's your knowledge. And it's like, well, no, I don't believe that that's meaningful or useful or anything, because I'm getting a misrepresented quote from someone else coming to you and you're telling me that I'm supposed to listen to what you're saying. With this, I think I needed to do it the hard way. I needed to walk the long miles, even the drawing the boxes out myself, which is how I initially started the journal. It was literally by hand every day, and that was part of the reason why I got the journals, because I was getting sick of drawing it every day. So hold on, Jamie, can you design something for me here? This is going to save loads of time. It's going to and I can focus on the good stuff.
Yeah.
But only by doing that did I get to the point where that's how I understand where the boxes are and where things go and the information in the passage. And then by living it personally, and I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many habits I've tried to build across the years in this, to the point where now it's not even 9 for me. It's more like 27, because I end up having multiple ones in each one. But having gone through all that and now being at this point now, I can't ignore how valuable that app would be. I think part of the reluctance was trying to get people off phones. I love writing it in my journal, but I don't think it's an either or. I think it's a mutual thing. I think it's a sort of thing where you would having the two working together would be brilliant, because the power of that. And then, okay, if screen time's your problem, don't use the app, use your journal, use this as the opportunity to get off. Equally, you're not going to journal, fine, just use the app, and then you've got something on there. And the beauty of the app, I think, is how personal you could make it, is that you wouldn't need to do all 9, whereas in the journal itself, for all 9, there's no real way of getting around that, because you've got to format it for everyone. On an app, you could be like, oh, well, I don't care about, I don't know which ones you wouldn't care about, but whatever. I don't care about letting go. I'm going to stick with my bad habits. Thank you very much. No problem. And I don't care about connecting.
Or I don't care about self-care because I'm never going to do
exactly,
things.
Yeah. These things are outside of my remit. I don't know. Now I'm focusing on the core ones. The value of that in today's age, I don't know where that would end in terms of value.
And from like an accessibility point of view as
exactly,
well.
Yeah. Because then you open up the doors to a little voice note in. Okay, feeling like this, everyone crap today, blah, 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 done.
Yeah.
Transcribed it. Perfect. You've got your login. I think so. But that is very recent. That's in the sort of last week or two where that kind of realizations hit us about the app. Before then, like I say, I think I was still in Act 2. So I'm hoping that means I'm now in Act 3 and I'm ready to share with the world.
Yeah. Suppose you have to go through that though, don't you? And realise what barriers you're putting in your own way.
Yeah. And there's definitely a part of that for us. You know, in terms of even posting about it. I should be posting more. I know I should be posting more, but...
So what stops you from doing that?
I'm happiest in the kitchen cooking.
Right.
And I mean that metaphorically, not...
I live with you.
Yeah.
That is not true.
Yeah. I want to be in the studio. I want to be making things in terms of selling things out the back end. But again, I think it's an Act 2, Act 3 thing for the story transformation. I don't think I was ready. I think I was to a point. But I think when you're in Act 2 and you're personally changing, it's hard to then tell people. It's hard to then communicate what you're doing outside of yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas when that, a genuine, like this is embodied in me now. these habits, if I didn't use another journal in my life, I'd still have this in my mind of, okay, well, how am I moving today? All of them things would still be in there because I've kind of gone through it and I've learned what I've learned along the way. Lost my point. What was I going to say?
We were talking about like sharing it.
Yeah. So but it's a different skill set entirely to share that with other people.
Yeah.
It's a different skill set, and you're coming from a different place, and it's part of what I'm saying there about jumping to Act 3 and going from idea to share. Well, you haven't road tested it. It doesn't mean anything yet. Whereas now, I think I have. And I've road tested it personally. I've road tested it around us. I've road tested it in a variety of different ways. It's been backed by a load of different funders, Northern Cancer Alliance, NHS, the National Lottery. We've had versions. So the idea is getting backed. And I've got the confirmation of that. And now I think I am in a position to share.
Yeah. It's that kind of like the piece of the puzzle is how you communicate how valuable this tool is to people who are busy and in need of it in a world that's so noisy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And something that really, it could be sold to everyone.
Yeah.
There's not really, because, I look at that and I think a kids edition would be so powerful.
Yeah.
I've talked to you before about like a pet owning edition. This is me and my dog. We're living well together. We've got, there's so many applications. We've got the prehab edition here, which is about preparing for treatment, a rehab edition. It goes in so many different, but the core's still the same.
Yeah.
And now
it's more about the mindset.
Aye.
Yeah. And the need that matches. Yeah.
And then the framework.
Yeah.
So it's a, here's something that you can use to find your own way to wellness. That's kind of the way I like to think about it. It's finding your own way to wellness. I'm not going to tell you because I don't know, because it depends where you are. But if your nutrition is, I'm going to eat 1 fruit and veg a day, like that's a great first start for you. And then obviously it's about moving on. So there's no point in me saying, well, you should eat five fruit and veg, 2 liters of water. If you're not going to do it, then it's going to stop you. So it's more about meeting people where they are and saying, okay, here's something that can help you find your way. And now I think our next kind of phase is about this supplementary thing. So it's the education around that. So whether that's videos around here's how you fill in the journal, here's some guidance, fill in the gaps to what you want it to be. Here's an exercise routine. Here's my stretching routine.
Yeah.
Here's how you get 5 fruit and a veg on a diet on a budget. Them sort of things where it's about, okay, well now you can fill the extra gaps, because there's loads of questions that come out of the back of that, and they're all important questions. But I can understand why it would overwhelm people. So it's about kind of trying to navigate that in a way that we can help as many people as we can, as quickly as we can.
Yeah.
Which is easier said than done. But I always think about it for beginners of all ages is a phrase I think in my mind. And that's kind of where I like to start. If we start at the bottom and we build our way up, we can set the foundations for what's right and then go from then.
Yeah. That's neat. Is there anything that you wish I'd asked you that I haven't so far?
It is good getting that question. What question would you like me to ask you?
What question would...
Yeah.
That's what...
I'm going meta now.
I feel like I've been attacked by someone from... You're asking me that.
You asked me.
I asked you.
What question I should ask you that you didn't. I'm saying, what question should I ask you?
Are we done?
Nice.
Yeah.
Are we done?
I'd say so.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's any question. I think them questions are cool. in terms of what we need to do. We're talking healthy habits. We're talking the charity. Live well with Banter is always about fun. And it's been nice. It's been nice being on this side. How did you find... Oh, right. Well, here's the question I would actually ask you.
Okay.
How has it been hosting?
Well, fine while I've forgotten that I was doing it. And then when you remember I was doing it, a bit nerve-wracking. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can never watch it.
So, not watch it back.
So hopefully it's gone okay.
Yeah. No, you've been great. You've been great. Shout out to Hayward and Stuff Productions, as always, for being such a wonderful host and making these podcasts possible. Very grateful to be here as a guest today. Haven't been here as a host formally. So yes, lovely.
What a lovely space as well.
And this might become a little bit of a collector's edition in terms of studios, because we're going to have a different background shortly.